Hi friends, welcome back to my channel JN Academy. I am Devansh Pathak. So in this video we are going to talk about the class 8 science chapter number 14, which is chemical changes of electric current. So in this video we are going to basically focus about the chemical changes of electric current. But before that we are going to study what are the effects of electric current. So there are three basic effects of current: heating effect, magnetic effect, and chemical effect. So first we are going to talk about heating effect. Heating effect works as you can see here we have a bulb. So whenever is a bulb turned on, the electricity goes to its filament and the filament gets hotter and it starts burning, but due to the absence of oxygen it do not burn, but it only goes, and that's how the bulb glows. But whenever sometimes the oxygen goes in, the bulb gets fused or sometimes can even blast. Next we have magnetic effect. So you can see here a machine which has a very big magnet. So now what happens that in a circuit, the electricity is whenever passed through any metal, the metal gets the abilities of magnets for some time, till that the electricity is passing through it from both negative and positive sides. And and for some time it works as a magnet, as you can see here in this figure. And the third is chemical effect. So there are actually three basic effects of electric current which we are going to study about in this chapter. So the chemical effects of electric current: passage of current through a chemical solution causes chemical reaction to take place. Now the chemical effects include formation of gas bubbles at electrodes, deposition of metals at electrodes, changes in the solution color. Now, what is electrolysis? Electrolysis is a process in which ionic substances are decomposed into simpler substances which an electric current is passed through them. Now, what is electrolysis? Whenever a circuit is completed and it passes through a water, it forms some chemical effects in it. In that solution it forms some chemical reactions, and this is known as electrolysis. So now in the previous classes of class 6th and 7th we have studied about the conductors and insulators. So let's recall it. Any material that allows the electric current to pass through it is known as a conductor. For example, copper, iron, aluminium. You can see here in this figure we have a iron bar, and through which the electricity is passing and the circuit is completed, so the bulb is glowing. But insulators are bad conductors, materials that do not allow the free flow of an electric current through it is known as bad conductors. All the insulators, for example rubbers, plastics, sandstone, etc. So here we have a sandstone through which the electricity is not passing, so the circuit is not complete and the bulb is not glowing. Now what are the reasons for these conductors and insulators? So first we are going to talk about what is atom. All matters are made up of atoms on the whole earth. All matters, protons and neutrons, occupy the center portion of the atom, which is also known as nucleus. You can see here the electrons revolve around them in a circular orbit, which is known as the electron orbit. So the electron is responsible for the conduction of electricity. If the electrons are not present in an excess limit, the object can't pass electricity through it. Electrons move from excess electron body to a body there is deficient electrons or deficiency of electrons, or you can say from a positively charged to a negatively charged body. So this is how conductors and insulators are made. Next we have electric circuit. So in the previous classes we have studied what is a circuit: a closed loop path which a current is taken down and passes through it continuously is known as an electric circuit. You can see here in this figure. When the path is closed, the electricity flows through it and it forms a perfect circuit. But whenever the path is broke or the switch is open, it will not pass the electricity and the circuit will not be completed. So as you can see here we have the battery as the energy provider, a bulb as a testing equipment that shows us that the electricity is flowing or not, and a switch is used to turn off and off on and off the supply of electricity wherever it is needed. So you can see at your homes that the switches are made for each and every appliance, because we can stop the appliance through it very easily. Next, what is a tester? So a tester is a equipment. It is an electrical equipment which is used to check the presence of electric current in any kind of object. So you can see that whenever we put a tester in a plug, the bulb is present in the handle of it and it starts glowing. So this indicates us that the circuit has electricity. Now how it works? So the handle is made up of plastic so that it doesn't harm us, so because plastic is an insulator, and the rod is made up of iron which conducts electricity and then provides it to the bulb, and the bulb glows, and that shows us that the item is conductor or insulator. Next, conducting liquids. Liquids also conduct electricity too, but when only the salts are dissolved in the liquid. So whenever salts, acids, bases are dissolved in any solution, it would be a conducting liquid. But if the salts, acids or bases are not present in it, for example distilled water, it will not conduct the electricity. Now in the previous classes we have studied about the acid, bases and salts. You can see it and you can note down in your notebooks as an important topic. Next, conduction of electricity in water. So here we have two solutions. First we have distilled water and then we have tap water. So you can observe here that the tap water can conduct electricity and then passes it to the bulb, so the bulb glows. But in the other hand, the distilled water do not pass it and the bulb is not glowing. Now what is the reason for it? Because distilled water is a bad conductor of electricity because of the absence of dissolved salts and minerals. So it do not have any electrons in it. So that's why whenever we add salt in it, it gets it it gets converted into a conducting liquid and then it can only conduct the electricity. Now, electrodes and electrolyte. An conductor, when immersed in a solution with a end of a terminals of a battery, thereby completing a circuit, is an electrode. So, as you can see here in this figure, we have two rods dipped in the tap water and the distilled water. So, these two rods are known as the electrodes, and the negative side connected with it is the cathode and the positive side is the anode. The electrolyte is a solution in which the electrodes are submerged. So here the electrolytes are tap water and distilled water in which these rods are submerged. Next we have electroplating, which is the most important topic of this chapter. So the process of depositing a layer of any desired material or metal by the means of electricity is known as electroplating. So, for example, you have seen that many jewelries are plated with gold. So, they are plated with gold due to the process of electroplating. You can see here as an example, here we have two copper plates and water. So, now what happens that the plate connected to the positive sides produces ions in the water, so the water gets converted into CuSO4, and these ions go to the copper plate and deposits on it. So this process continues for a long time. The water gets the CuSO4 from the plate and it gets plated on the other copper plate or the cathode. And this is how electroplating works. Applications of electroplating. So you have seen that a coating of zinc is applied on iron to prevent it from corrosion and rusting. Coating of silver and gold are done on different jewelries. Coating of tin into iron for cans, as tin is less reactive than iron. Chromium coating for car parts, bath fittings, as it has a shiny appearance that looks good for it. So, if you have any kind of doubt regarding this chapter or any feedback, then comment me in the comment section. So, that is all about this topic. Thank you and have a nice day.